Welcome, ladies, to the YL OpNet. This is Catherine AC4YL Net Control for this evening's net. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Echolink Alara conference node. Be sure to invite all YLs you know to join us. We ask that only YLs or licensed young lady ham radio operators check in and participate. The purpose of this net is to encourage you to become and stay active with amateur radio, help each other improve our operating knowledge and skills, and have fun. For more ham fun between weekly nets, check out the YL OpNet Facebook group. During the net, be sure to join us in the NFARL Do Drop In chat room by opening any web browser and going to nfarl.dodropin.org. Just put your name-call sign in the box and click Log In. YLs who would like to check in, give us your call sign, name, and current location. And don't forget that there is a 3 to 4 second delay when transmitting through Echolink. This is Catherine AC4YL. We will now begin taking check-ins. Please call now.
This is W1MKW Whiskey 1, Mike Kilo Whiskey, Gretchen and Tucker, Georgia.
This is Mike Zero, Hotel Zulu Tango, Jenny here in UK.
This is Victor Kilo 5, Yankee Lima, Shirley from Adelaide, South Australia, and I'd like to say hello to Brenda.
This is Alpha Echo 7, Mike Bravo, Margaret, Battleground, Washington.
This is KC1EO, Brenda, New Haven, Connecticut.
KC8PKY, Linda, Max, Indiana.
KA7SKY, in Gardner, Washington.
England.
This is W5MQC, Michelle, Norman, Oklahoma.
Alpha 4, Yankee Lima, Dawn, Hudson, Florida.
Kilo 4, Sierra, Alpha Foxtrot, Carol, and Moorhead, Kentucky.
This is Connie, KA1YL in Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
Okay, very good. Let's see who else we have here with us. We have Tracy, M6TEP. I believe you doubled just a little bit with Sky, but caught you there on the end. So we have you logged in, joining us from the UK. So good morning to you, Tracy. Hope you're doing well and hope work's going okay. Michelle, W5MQC, joining us from Oklahoma this evening. Dawn, WA4YL, checking in from Florida. Carol, K4SAF, joining us from Kentucky. And Carol, your mic is just a little hot, so you might want to just turn the gain down just a little bit. And Connie, KA1YL, joining us from Massachusetts this evening. Great group. I think we might have a few more that have not checked in yet, so we'll do one more round to see if we have anyone else that we missed. And then we'll go on into the net. So if you're a YL and would like to check in, and have not already done so, please call now.
This is KD8SGB, Brenda in Michigan.
Whiskey 3, Lima, Echo Oscar, Leah, Oklahoma.
Okay, awesome. So also joining us this evening, we have Brenda, KD8SGB from Michigan. Good evening, Brenda. Welcome back. And Leah, W3LEO, joining us from Oklahoma. So nice group this evening. And we may have some more pop in and some leave throughout the net, and that's perfectly okay. So I want you gals to know that if you run late, don't worry about joining late. You're more than welcome to pop in here and listen to the net and participate in the net, even if you get here a little late. Everybody has things going on, so that's understandable. It's no problem, but I want you to feel welcomed. If you realize it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 00:30 UTC, and you're like, I think the YL net's tonight, the YL op net. Don't hesitate to go ahead and connect up and start in participating when you can make it. A lot of people have hectic schedules, and we like to see you come in, and even if it's a short time too, if you just have 5 minutes to spend with us at any point during the net, please come in and listen. And we try to watch for you in Echolink, and try to watch for new calls as they pop in here, so that we can try and catch you and check in. But another good way to make sure that we see you is just put a comment in Echolink. If we're in the middle of the net and you pop in late, you can go ahead and just put a little note in the Echolink chat box. I try to watch that as well throughout the net, so we'll try to catch you while you're still on, but just put a note. Anything you want to say, if you just want to say, hi ladies, running late, or I'm at work, so I'm only here for 5 minutes, just put a little note in there, and we'll look for you. And at least we know you were here, and we get you in the check-in log, and we'll try to pass that hello to everybody. So thank you very much, ladies. We appreciate you being here. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, very good. So let me just check one thing real quick here. Okay, very good. I got too many windows open and too many things going on. So I apologize if I seem a little disorganized this evening. Melanie AG4YL is working this evening, so she wanted me to be sure and tell all of you ladies hello for her. She won't be able to make it, and Lauren is not going to be on this evening either, so we'll say hello for her as well. And feel free to send her a note in the YL OpNet Facebook group, or via email if you have her email address, and just say hello and that you missed her this evening. It's always great to hear from you gals, even when we can't make it on the net. So alright, let's see what's going on here. Shirley puts a comment, times after next weekend. So I have not checked when we change clocks. I kind of just wait till the last minute on that. So if that is this upcoming weekend, this net does not change in terms of Eastern time, 8 p.m. So when the time shifts, of course, we move an additional hour behind UTC. Yes, so the time after the time change will be 0100 UTC after the time daylight savings time changes. So it's 0000 UTC during the summer months, and the 0100 UTC during the winter months. Thank you, Margaret. You've got November 5th. So yes, up and coming very soon. So next week, same time, 0000 UTC. On the second, third for you, Shirley, and then the following week will be so the 9th, 10th of November will be 0100 UTC for you there, Shirley. I hope that helps. Okay, with that, let's go to Shirley first. And Shirley, would you like to come in if there's anything that you want to share with the group, since you can't stay for the whole net? We'd love to hear from you. So VK5YL, AC4YL with the group.
AC4YL, VK5YL with the group. Good evening, ladies, and it's very late for you, Jenny, I know. And I'd like to say welcome to Brenda. She sent me an email saying it was her first time on Echolink, and that Jenny had helped to get started. So it's great that you're here, Brenda. You seem to be doing all right because you came through on the voice, so that's great. No rear or niece, Jenny is saying. No, I didn't hear them come in either. And WB1ARU is not there either. But anyway, she might be away. I've been asked to be net control for the ANZA net as of Monday. That's the Australia, New Zealand, Africa net, but anyone is welcome to join, YLs or OMs. They're mainly OMs, but because our normal net control for Monday from Suez Island will be away from the island until mid-December, she asked me if I'd be happy to run it. It's going to be a scatterbrain, because I don't have a tower. I don't have a rotator. All I've got is a G5RV, and as you all know, it's secured at both ends. So I'm going to have a lot of help from the guys, who are really very helpful. So it will be fun, and then after that we have the recipe on the air net. Now all this takes place on 14.183, that's 14.183 at 0515, that's 0515 UTC on every Monday. The Anzanet is on every day of the week, and I'll be able to tell you more when I get the information from the coordinator. So there you go. That's about all I've got at this stage, and I really can't stay much longer. I have an appointment in about half an hour. So I'll say 33 to you all. Thanks for letting me in, Catherine, and it's great that you're there as well, Brenda. And hello to, I can see Rosemary is there as well, and also Margaret. Okay, back to net. This is CQ with AC4YL.
Well, thank you very much, Shirley. We're glad to have you with us as always, and thanks for the information on the net. So, I guess that for those of us in the U.S., 0515 UTC currently for us on the East Coast would be 0115 in the morning on Monday. So we'd be like Jenny is right now. So it's about a little bit after midnight there, Jenny's time, I think, or close to. So it kind of reverses that, doesn't it? So of course, it wouldn't be much better for those on the West Coast either. But hey, you never know. Some of us stay up late, or if you're having trouble sleeping, and you can hop on to 20 meters on 14.103 or 183, 14.183, and join the folks there. So very good. Well, thanks, Shirley, for that info, and again, thanks so much for popping in and saying hello with the group here. We hope all goes well with your appointments today, and please say hello to your other half for us as well. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and open it up to the group here and see if anybody has any comments or news or anything that you want to share with the group this evening. Let's start with that first. Please call now, AC4YL.
AE7MB.
Well, Margaret, please go ahead and welcome back. We've been missing you for a couple of weeks, so we're glad to have you back here with us. Please go ahead, Margaret.
Well, I've been busy, and I've got wonderful news. We had 18 ladies in our YL Tech class the last 2 weeks. One of them was auditing because she already had her general, and she's getting ready to start studying for her extra beef, but after about 20 years of not looking at the book. But of the rest, we had 14 new YLs, and they got their call signs yesterday, and we are so excited. And 2 of those actually got their generals also. So good on them. So that's my my exciting news, and that's why I haven't been around for the last 2 weeks. And certainly, yes, I did tell them about Echolink. We'll see what happens. This is AE7MB, back to net.
Well, that is absolutely phenomenal, Margaret. That's exciting, and I'm sure the group here is very excited as well. So I guess we'll let you slide then this time on missing the net here. But fantastic, yes, and please feel free to share with those gals the YouTube link as well as the Facebook group. Also, they can certainly join in there. and participate and get a feel for what this net is like anyway, and check it out before they actually tune in live, so to speak. And if you don't have to remember a whole lot, which is kind of cool, because all you need to do is just send them to my QRZ page, and I have a link to both right there. Feel free to do that, and they can certainly email me as well with any questions about the net. So that's awesome, Margaret. I think it's a completely wonderful program that you gals are doing out there, helping YLs get their call signs and get licensed, and encouraging them to get active. So we appreciate all those efforts, and please pass that along to all the YLs in the group that put forth all that hard work to make it happen. It certainly is paying off, and we're glad to have more YLs into the hobby with us. So thanks, Margaret. That's awesome. Okay, who else has something for the group? Please call now, AC4YL.
This is KC1CRS. We just had 8 people pass their license exam in Massachusetts this week, and 3 of them are YLs. I'm pretty excited about that. And that's all my news for now.
Awesome, Anne, and thanks so much for joining us this evening, and we appreciate you having you back with us. And that's awesome news. So we have you in the check-in log there, Anne, and fantastic. So eight folks and 3 YLs joining in with us with the hobby. And again, just like I mentioned to Margaret, if you enjoy this net, feel free to just have the gals go to qrz.com, and they search for AC4YL, which is my call sign, and that'll pull up my bio, and right there at the top are the links for the YouTube channel where they can listen to recordings of the net, and as well as the Facebook group, and they can request to join that. And by the way, so you gals know, when gals ask to join the Facebook group, it does ask them a couple of questions. The main one is if they're licensed and what their call sign is yet. So if they pass their test and don't have their call sign yet, they can certainly just put in that note, passed test on such and such a day and no call sign yet. They're more than welcome to do that. But it is a group. The Facebook group is for YLs, or young lady ham radio operators only. So it's kind of nice to just have an area for YLs to get together and encourage each other. So Anne, feel free to pass that on if you see those gals at club meetings, or if you exchanged any email or contact information with them. Please feel free to invite them if you like. But congratulations, that's exciting, Anne. Thanks so much for sharing with the group here. And welcome to the net this evening. Anybody else have something for the YLs here? Please call now.
Don't forget, girls, the road CQ Worldwide. I know it's gone. Where has the year gone to? It's gone past so quickly. It doesn't seem like 5 minutes ago we were doing it last year. And there is a Dutch YL group in Netherlands. Was it Papa India 4 YLC? So I hope you all can hear them. I'm certainly going to try. So hope to work you all. Thanks, Cats.
All right, very good, Jenny. Thanks so much for mentioning that. That's actually the main topic for this evening's net. We're going to go through the CQ Worldwide contest and how it works for that's coming up this weekend, and we're going to learn a little bit about it, such as when it is and what the objective is and what the goal is for that contest, and some of the rules around it, and some tips on operating it and using logging programs. So that is going to be a big part of the net tonight. We're going to talk about that, especially for those of you who may be new and perhaps you've never contested before. You can learn a little bit about contesting, and we encourage you, if you have questions, to please ask them with the group as well. So thanks, Jenny, and we'll look for you on the bands this weekend for sure. Okay, who else has something for the group here? Please call now.
This is CQ and I just wanted to say I'm happy to be on this net, finally, and happy to hear Jenny, who introduced me to the whole group, and just happy to hear everyone. A lot of people I've talked to on the net, on the web messenger page, and I'm just happy to be here, and I'm just not sure I'm doing everything according to protocol, so I'll just say that. CQ back to net control.
Well, good evening, Brenda. No, that's absolutely perfect. Right in there. So we're really glad to have you here with us, and thanks, Jenny, for mentioning it to Brenda and inviting her to the group here. So, Brenda, we're glad to have you with us, and I remember you are checking in from Connecticut this evening. So, Brenda, if you don't mind coming back and maybe telling us a little bit about how you got into ham radio, and if there's any particular aspect of amateur radio that you enjoy doing, like contesting or chasing DX, or just talking locally in your area there on 2 meters, on basically how you got started in amateur radio, and how long have you been licensed, Brenda? If you don't mind, we'd love to hear a little bit more from you. KC1EEO AC4YL with the group.
This is KC1EEO, and I got my license in August of 2015, and I got my general in March of this year, 2017, and even in spite of that, I've not been on the low bands. I have a Baofeng radio, and I go on a lot of local nets, and I'm in a lot of local clubs in Connecticut, and I've been in, I've gone on to the walkathons and things like that, and I also rode on a fire truck and a fire muster to tell the location on the truck, and I've done things like that, and I enjoy that, and I also enjoy talking on the nets or talking to my friends on the radio. I do have a radio for the low bands. I'm actually looking at it right now, but I don't have the antenna yet on the roof to be using it, so I haven't used the low bands. And the way I got into ham radio was my OM, who has been in radio since he was a teen. KC1EO, back to net control.
Well, that's cool, Brenda. Well, thanks so much for telling us a little bit more about your story there. And so I think it's really cool that you are active locally with the club there, and participating in some Aries practice, so to speak, helping out with marathons or runs and those kinds of things. It's a great way to participate even at a technician level. See, there's so many things that you gals can do even at a technician level, and that's kind of what you want to also encourage other folks that YLs who are newly licensed and just have their technician license and aren't sure what they can do on the radio. And there's a lot of things they can do. They can get on the local repeater or participate and get active with a local Aries group and help out at various events in the community. They can certainly participate in contests and field day, and if there's a ham in the club that can work with them, they can actually operate outside of their privileges, license class privileges, so long as they have a control operator there with them assisting them. They can extend their experience there into other avenues, even beyond their license. But you can certainly obviously get here on Echolink as well, even with a technician license. So there's a lot of things that the gals can do, even starting out, and get that exposure and have fun and learn that. So thanks so much, Brenda, for sharing your story with us. We're very glad to have you here, and it's a bummer you don't have your antenna up just yet, because this weekend is a great contest to jump in, but no worries, there are several throughout the year. So we encourage you to get that antenna up and let us know when you do get it up, so we can try and work you on HF. So very good. Anybody else have anything for the group here, or if you just want to pop in and say hello real quick, please call now, AC4YL.
WA4YL.
Hello there, Dawn. Please go ahead.
I had a very interesting couple of days on HF on 20 meters. I worked Slovenia S51DX, and I worked Belgium OT4A, and Czech Republic OK1DTC, and I also worked Germany DL2ARD, and and the band was so open, it was amazing that some of these stations sounded like they were coming in from right next door. Back to net control, WA4YL.
Awesome, Dawn. Well, congratulations. Question for you. Are any of those countries new ones for you under your current call sign?
No, but so far under my current call sign I have 68 countries logged, and under my old call sign I had 98 countries logged. And I'm trying to work all countries as best I can. But with the band conditions the way they've been, it's been a hard situation. S9 level noise and everything else.
All right, well, very good, Dawn. Well, thanks, and no problem. That's cool, though. Anytime you can work folks, it's awesome. So congratulations on being able to work those. And you're right, band conditions have certainly not been the best. I know Melanie and I went out and have been playing Parks on the Air lately and have had a lot of fun doing that. And what we're doing is we are working parks that have not been activated yet here in Georgia. And for those of you that are not familiar with Parks on the Air or the worldwide flora and fauna, you can look at that at www.ff.co. And the United States or I should say North America station equivalent or sub piece of the worldwide flora and fauna is KFF. So encourage you to check that out. It's a lot of fun. It's basically a whole slew of parks, wildlife management areas, and those types of places that fall under that. You might have one 10 minutes from where you live. You never know. And you can simply take your radio and your antenna and go out to the park and set up there and make some contacts. The minimum amount of contacts you have to make is 10 when you are there. But to have a full successful activation in total, you have to make at least 44 contacts. But you can do that over several visits to the park. So unlike national parks on the air that occurred last year, where you had to make all of those contacts in that one sitting, I guess you could say, one visit to the park. With Parks on the Air, you can go back, so you can work 10 contacts one session and 10 the next, and and so on and so forth. You don't have to work them all in one session, which is really quite cool. So if you haven't checked it out, please do so. And we had a lot of static crashes on 40 the other day trying to work some folks, but we worked through it. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, very good. Well, thanks, Dawn, for coming in and sharing your experience over the last few days in amateur radio. It's great to hear you on this evening. Anybody else have something for the group? Please call now.
W3LEO.
Please go ahead, Leah.
Hopefully you can hear me well. It's pretty windy here in Oklahoma. Tomorrow we are expecting in the afternoon a very big cold front to where we're dropping about 30 degrees and we'll be freezing on Saturday night. So yeah, but this weekend myself and a couple other hams, which one is in our group here, we are going down to a town called Ardmore, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of where I'm at in central Oklahoma, for a ham fest called Hamorama. And we'll have a little table set up, but I will be helping some with what youth are there. We are going to try to do a scavenger hunt and just have a few little odds and ends for the kids there during that time. But it's just an opportunity to reach out there again and just again be part of another ham fest. And but yeah, that's what we're doing this weekend. Going to be representing down there. Anyways, that's all for right now. W3LEO.
All right, very good, Leah. Well, I hope you have a whole lot of fun there at Hamorama, and I think Michelle's going too, also. So, very cool. I think it was Michelle that picked up some shirts for that event this weekend. So I hope you gals have a lot of fun and get to hang out some and visit with other YLs as well while you're there. So that's really cool. It's always fun to go to some ham events and hang out and chat with the gals and have a lot of fun doing that. So it's always good to hear from you, Leah, and we're glad you're here with us this evening. So thanks so much for coming in and saying hello. Okay, anybody else have anything for the group? Please call now.
KC8PKY.
Please go ahead, Linda.
Well, just a quick update on the tower project. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks it'll be up in the air. We've tested the antenna and tested the rotor and all that works, so hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll be up and on the air. And with that, back to Net.
Yay! That's exciting, Linda. I bet you and your other half are really excited to get that up and going. And don't forget, we want to see some pictures of the completed project for sure. So maybe, Linda, if you can come back and fill us in with a little more details about your tower there. What antenna are you putting up top, and how high up is your tower going to be? If you can come back and fill in the gals that don't know about your project there, Linda, that would be awesome.
Okay, well, tower's going to be about 40 feet up. We've got it's on a tilt-over base so that we can tilt it down if we have to. I hope we don't have to anytime soon. We're putting okay, I know what the antenna is. Mosley Classic 30. And so hopefully that will be up soon. And then we can attach some of our wire antennas to it as well. So hopefully we'll be in good shape. And then maybe the bands will improve. Yeah, right. And with that, I'll turn it back to Matt.
All right, fantastic, Linda. Well, that's great. Thanks so much for telling us a little bit more about your setup and what it's going to be. And again, would love to see some pictures of that. And we're excited for you. And I guess what fun would amateur radio be if there wasn't a challenge? And certainly, band conditions are somewhat of a challenge. But you work through it, and it makes contest time even more fun because, when you can tune around and you're like, ooh, there's actually people on. I can hear some people. You're like, phew, okay, we're not completely. The bands aren't completely dead. So very good. Well, thanks, Linda. It's great to have you here, and y'all almost made it. Almost got it up in time for the CQ Worldwide, but not quite, but that's okay. You'll be fired up and ready for next year. Cool. All right, anybody else have anything for the group? Please call now. AC4YL.
I'm 082, Jenny.
Please, go ahead, Jenny.
If anyone can actually get into Thursday evening, 18:30 UTC, 3633. I don't know anyone who. Hopefully you can all log in. Listen to the call Mike 0 BYL. Mike 0 BYL. You'll be most welcome to join us. Back to you, Kat.
All right, very good, Jenny. Well, thanks so much for that. We appreciate you bringing that up to the group here and inviting us to that. Cool. The Bylara call. Great call sign, by the way. That's awesome. And I see a comment. Linda says, "Oh, cool! You're gonna try and video the actual raising the antenna." Oh, well, that's awesome. Yeah, would love to see that. Cool, Linda. Well, thanks. We'll certainly look for that. All right, very good. Again, thanks, Jenny, for sharing that with us. So M0BYL, Mike 0 Bravo Yankee Lima. Bylara call. Very good. Okay, anybody else have anything for the group here? And then we'll go into our net topic, AC4YL.
KC8 UFC.
Well, hello there, Chrissy. Welcome to the net this evening. So, have you made it back home, and what do you have for the group here? Please go ahead, Chrissy.
Yes, it actually feels quite good to actually be back home. Just right now, I'm actually on the net with a soldering iron in my hand because I'm making up a bunch of more of my Bluetooth adapters. I think I'm actually going to go to a ham fest this weekend and get rid of some radios that I'm not using, and we'll see if anybody else shows up anybody from the group shows up to chat. If anybody's up here in Michigan, KC8 UFC.
All right, very good, Chrissy. Well, glad you made it home safely, and I bet you're glad to be home and settle back in. So very good. Well, best of luck on selling off some radios, or getting rid of some, or leaving them behind. Whatever you plan to do with those. I have one myself that I don't use that I would like to sell as well. So try to get rid of that and take care of a few bills, and then move on, and hope to get a different radio sometime next year is the goal here. So anyway, cool. Well, thanks, Chrissy. Glad to hear you this evening, and glad you made it back safely. Okay, so what we're going to do this evening is we're going to talk a little bit more about the CQ Worldwide DX contest. Single sideband is going on this weekend. And what I'm going to do real quick here, or attempt to do, is put the link for that in the Echolink chat and the Dewdrop In chat, so that you gals have the information for that. Those are the rules for the CQ Worldwide DX contest. It is October 28th to the 29th, which is this weekend. It starts at 0000 UTC on Saturday and ends at 23:59 UTC on Sunday. So the purpose of this contest, or the goal, is for all amateur radio operators around the world to contact as many other amateur radio operators in as many CQ zones and countries as possible. So that is the purpose of the contest this weekend. The bands that you can participate on are 80 meters, let's see, 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, so a few weeks back we were talking about some terminology around the CQ, around contesting, and so one of the things that we talked about was exchange. What's a contest exchange? So a contest exchange is the pieces of information that you are required to give and receive in order to log a contact for the contest. So for this particular one, CQ Worldwide DX, the contest exchange is a signal report plus the CQ zone number of the station location. So how do you find out what your CQ zone is? Well, I actually stumbled across this really cool map that I'm going to post a link to, again, in both the Echolink and Dewdrop In chat rooms. You can find this at epc-mc.eu/zones.php. And this is a it's an interactive map. It's really quite cool. You actually can move your mouse around this map. You can zoom the map in and out here. Let me see if I can bring this up on my other screen here. And you can actually just move the mouse around, and in the top left-hand corner it shows the grid, the ITU zone, and the CQ zone as you move your mouse around the map. And again, you can zoom the map out by simply using the scroll wheel on your mouse if you have one, and just moving your mouse around the map will show you the different grid, ITU, and CQ zones. So you can actually zoom in to where you're located. There's lots of other ways. You can Google it. There's some maps where everything's broken out as well. But I thought this was a pretty darn cool tool because it's very interactive, and you can see it change as you go. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, so as far as signal reports go in contesting, generally, again, because the object of contesting is to make as many contacts as you can during the contest period, exchanges are meant to be kept very short. For that reason, in contesting, instead of exchanging what you might consider a more accurate signal report, basically if you can hear them and work them, everybody's a 5-9 signal report. 5-9 meaning strong, no problems hearing you. So even if you have to struggle a little bit, if you can get all the required information and get them in your log, you always give a signal report of 5-9 for the sake of time in contesting. And so you'll hear that a lot as you work stations, and they give you a signal report. In contesting, 99% of the time when they're working you, they will give you an exchange or a signal report of 5-9. Okay, do we have any questions so far on the goal or purpose of this contest, which bands you can participate on, and what the exchange is? Okay, very good. So hopefully that'll help. So the other thing that you generally will want to do when you're operating a contest is you want to log your contacts. You want to put them in a log as you work them. So one of the programs that is quite popular is N3FJP, and there is a specific log for this contest. And so it makes it a whole lot easier to operate in this contest, because when you have the log for this specific contest, you can simply put in, it will have fields just for the exchange information required and not anything else. It also will show you stations you've worked on, which bands, so you can have an idea and monitor your progress as you go, which is really cool. So what you can do is download the N3FJP CQ Worldwide DX contest log onto your computer. It's you can download it for free, and the free version will allow 30 contacts, 30 contacts max on an unregistered version. So if you just want to try it out and play with it, I encourage you to do so. I'm going to put the link in both chat rooms real quick here, and that way you gals can find it if you're not familiar. Let me pause for a reset. Okay, I have the link to the N3FJP contest log for this contest in there. And so I don't know if you gals have had an opportunity to check this out and try it. But the nice thing is it specifically has just the fields you need for the exchange. So again, You always give your call sign and you collect the other station's call sign. And then you can set the program to autofill the sent and received signal report at 5.9, but it will also automatically put in the CQ zone for that station for you in the logging program based on where that call sign is located. Now, it's not always the case, so that's why they are required to give you the information when you're making that exchange over the air, so that you can confirm that. So for example, I just put in Jenny's call sign in the logging program. So I put in M0HZT. It autofilled for me 5.9 on the received signal report. It autofilled her CQ zone at 14. Autofilled the sent signal report at 5.9, and it put the country in there for me, England. So everything is right there. Literally all I had to do was type Jenny's call sign and hit the tab key, and it auto-filled in sent, received, the CQ zone, and the country. So very, very simple to use. You can tell it what band you're operating on and which mode you are using. So for this weekend's contest, we're on single sideband or operating phone mode. So once I hit enter on that, if I hit enter and act as if I worked Jenny there, it will pop up. And now I had mine set just to 20 meters. I left it on 20 meters phone. It shows on the right hand side of the screen, it lists my bands: 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. And it shows, of course, England under 20, because that's what I logged Jenny under. And it's got my score statistics in the upper right hand side. Let me pause for reset. Okay, any questions so far about where you can go about downloading the N3FJP program, or logging a contact, or what the exchange is? Okay, very good. So Scott in 3FJP actually has a couple of Yahoo groups that you can join. One of them is a users group, which is for hams that use N3FJP logging program to get together and chat with each other or ask each other questions about the program or issues that they run into while using the program. Scott is very active in that as well, and will answer questions usually very quickly, as well as some of the other users there. There's also another Yahoo group where it's not interactive. Scott and Kimberly will just put out news or updates about their program, like if they've come out with a new version, or any changes that have been made, or any announcements that they have about their program. And one of the emails that was just sent out was actually very encouraging. He was encouraging hams to participate in the CQ Worldwide DX contest this weekend. A couple of the things that he was encouraging folks to do is participate in the contest. And the reason is, again, going back to the objective, is to work as many countries as you can in as many different CQ zones as you can. And what's great is for Dawn, for example, who has 68 countries in her log right now under WA4YL, she's trying to get to 100. This weekend is a great opportunity for Dawn to reach her 100 DXCC entities and get them in her log simply by participating this weekend in the contest, because a lot of hams will be on from around the world participating in this contest. So it's possible you could actually work 100 different countries in a weekend. It's more likely to happen when band conditions are nicer, however, but you can certainly give it a go and work as many as you can during the contest period this weekend. The other thing that's nice about this particular contest is it's great for newer hams. So for you YLs that haven't been licensed that long, or for those of you that may have been licensed for a long time but have not participated in a contest, or you haven't really gotten into contesting, the exchange for this contest is very simple. It's you send your call sign, a signal report, which is always 59, and the CQ zone that your station is located in, that you're operating from. So, for example, if I were to exchange with Jenny, I would give Jenny AC4YL 595. My call sign, AC4YL 59, the signal report to Jenny, and 5, which is the CQ zone that my station is located in. That's it. Jenny will come back. In fact, Jenny, if you have a minute, what would you tell me in this contest if we were working together? What would you exchange back to me there, Jenny?
My call is Mike 0, Hotel Zulu Tango. Your report is 5914. Back to you, Kat.
Awesome. Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate it. So it's that simple. And then Jenny and I are done, and we go our separate ways. If we're one of us is holding a frequency and working off of one frequency, and obviously the other one of us is hunting and pouncing, as we say, going up and down the band, trying to work as many stations as we can. So once Jenny and I make that exchange, we go to the next person and ask for the next caller. So that's generally operating CQ Worldwide DX in a nutshell. Any questions so far? Okay, very good. Before we move on, it's right about 9 o'clock Eastern. Margaret, if you're still around, are we going to try and do an HF net this evening? I don't see Ann on here with us. She might be tied up with some other things, but didn't know if we're having an HF net this evening or not. So Margaret, if you can come back, if you're around, that would be awesome. AE7 and B, AC4YL with the group.
AC4YL, this is AE7MB. If anybody wants to join me on 14288, it looks like it's available. It's not too many signals, but my husband was able to talk to Florida last night on 40 meters, so anything's possible. Otherwise, if everybody wants to stay here and listen to this wonderful conversation, go for it. But I'll be in the ham shack in about 30 seconds. This is AE7MB.
Okay, very good, Margaret. So, ladies, this net does continue for another 25 minutes or so, but you are more than welcome to hop over to 20 meters if you like and see if you can talk to Margaret 14.288 20 meters and see if you can hear her and work her over there for the HF net, or you're more than welcome to stay here, or you can hop over to 20 meters and then come back here, whatever your preference. So invite you to do that if you would like to test out propagation on 20 to Washington. Awesome. Yeah, and Margaret mentioned working Florida on 40. Wow, that's pretty darn cool. That's pretty cool. I know that for Melanie and myself, when we were doing Parks on the Air, because the goal was to work local stations, we primarily operated on 40 meters during the day and have had some really good success in doing that. So that's cool. Okay, so back to contesting and the CQ Worldwide DX. So we also have talked about contest methods and approaches to contesting. And there were two different methods to doing so, which we have touched on a little bit ago, and that is the hunt and pounce method and securing a frequency. You stay on a same frequency. So again, there's different approaches to it. If you can find a free spot on the band, you can certainly locate a frequency that is available. And what you always want to keep in mind is you want to key up and give your call sign, and you want to check if the frequency is in use. And you want to ask 2 or 3 times, and then if you don't hear anyone come back to you after doing so, then go ahead and start calling CQ for the contest, and you basically just work as many stations as you can on that one frequency that way. The other method, of course, is hunt and pounce, and the way that works is you go up and down the band. So you can go up and down, say 20 meters, for example, on the frequencies within the privileges of your license class, wherever you are located. So whatever the local rules and laws are for your license class, you want to make sure you stay within those limitations there. And you go up and down the band, basically turning the VFO knob and going up and down, looking or listening for stations that you can hear, and try to work them. So they're the ones staying on a frequency and calling CQ. You're the one going up and down the band trying to work them. And some good tips that have been mentioned in previous nets is don't always work the ones that are the loudest. If you can hear a station fairly well enough to be able to copy their exchange information, even if their audio is to you sounds a little low, if you are still able to copy them fairly well, go ahead and try and work them. The louder stations may be operating on higher power as well, so they're going to get a lot of traffic. It's the ones that you may not be able to hear as well that may need your contact more, because they're having to work a bit harder because they may be running a lower power for the contest. So encourage you to work, any station that you can hear, but certainly don't shy away from those that you may not hear as well as others. If you can hear them well enough to get their exchange information, work them. Stop and work them. Give them a contact, and guess what? You get one in return. So. Okay, any other questions about contesting in general, or this specific contest, or if you have a tip or suggestion about contesting that you'd like to share with the group, please call now.
This is WA4YL. My favorite thing to do in a contest is always listen, and then if I'm tuning in, I like to hunt and pounce. That's the best way of getting the contact. Back to you, Catherine.
All right, very good, Dawn. Well, thank you very much. And certainly in this contest, I would highly recommend the hunt and pounce method. I think you'll work a lot more stations and countries that way, because you can tune up and down and listen for the various call signs. The other part that's really fun about this particular contest is, again, you've got stations on from all over the world, and I know when I was newer, and even now, it was a lot of fun to hear all the different call signs, and some of those that I wasn't familiar with. I wonder, where is that? What country has that prefix? That makes it exciting. And the other piece that's a lot of fun is when you're trying to when you learn so much, and you find out what country they're in, and maybe you're not familiar with the location of that country. So then you're pulling out the map and you're checking it out, and you're like, oh, that's where they're located, and then you go, wow, my antenna works. The propagation is working that direction from where I'm located. That in of itself makes operating in this contest just so much fun. And here's the beauty of it. With contesting, you're in control. Now, while the goal is to work as many as you can in the time period, you can be what a lot of hams call a casual contester, where you're not focused personally on speed. You like to see what stations you can work and just take your time and pace yourself just to have fun. Because in the end, that's the main goal of all contesting and participating in amateur radio, is to have fun and have a good time, playing with radio. And so that adds so much joy and so much excitement as you're going through and you're hearing these different stations all around the world that you can actually hear and work. It's really cool. Thanks, Dawn, for coming in and sharing that with us. Anybody else have a tip or a question on contesting or this specific contest?
M0AZT, Jenny, and don't forget to put your login. It's not the numbers that count. It's the participation. As Fox 5 India Sierra Yankee told me about 3 years ago. She urged me to put my login, saying that it wasn't the quantity of logs I got. It was just 2, 3, or 4. It doesn't matter. It's the participating that counts. Back to you, Kat.
That's an excellent reminder, Jenny. Thanks so much for bringing that up. So, yes, you can operate in a contest and you can log all of them. But if you don't do anything with that log, you kind of miss out there too. So, for example, I'm going to go back to Dawn here for a minute. So Dawn's got 68 countries in her log under her current call sign. So if Dawn got on and played CQ Worldwide DX contest, and she worked 32 countries and got to 100 under her call sign. She worked 32 unique countries she had not worked before. And yet she doesn't upload her log information to Logbook of the World. Then she would have to collect QSL cards from all of those. And, she'd miss out on getting credit for working 100 different countries. So don't forget to submit your log once you finish participating in the contest. The information on how to do that is on the first link on the contest that I gave you with the rules. It will give you the information on how to submit your logs and what the deadline is. For this particular contest, you have 5 days after the end of the contest to submit your log. And you can do it online as well, which is really cool. Most contests will let you email someone that log or submit it through their website. So it makes it easy for you to do so, which again also gives the higher encouragement to using a digital log versus a paper logging system. And there is an option for an extension by emailing questions at cqww.com. But they're granted only upon confirmation by the contest director. So you really want to try and get your login within 5 days after the contest ends. Okay, very good. So any questions or more tips on contesting in general? Okay, very good. Well, hopefully this information was helpful to you ladies, or at least encouraging you to participate and get involved this weekend. The CQ Worldwide DX contest is certainly a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite contests throughout the year. I don't know how much time I'll have to participate because I do have a few other things that I really need to tackle, but certainly encourage you gals to get on the air and have fun and tune around and play some radio this weekend. So very good. Okay, that is really the main contest that's going on this weekend. Let me just check real quick and see if there's really anything else, and there isn't. There is the RSGB 80 meter Autumn series on single sideband. It's a very tiny sliver that was actually today, so it's probably been and gone. So this weekend it's all about the CQ Worldwide DX. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in both chat rooms for the contest calendar. It's a calendar that I like to use for ham radio contests. And the nice thing about it is it will have, you can view it for the next 8 days. It will show you the different contests going on. And then their links, so their target links that will take you down to that specific contest and the information. And it will lay out the geographic focus, who can participate, any awards, what mode the contest is in, whether it's CW or single sideband phone or digital, the bands that you can operate on, the exchange, and general overview of the rules of that contest. But there's also links generally to the group that sponsors the contest and where to find the rules and information about where to send in your logs for that specific contest as well. So it's very helpful, kind of a one go-to place for all the info you need on the contest. Okay, so that's it for that piece that I had this evening. So let's open it back up to the group here. We have a few gals still here with us. Do any of you ladies have any topic that you want to bring up this evening, or question that you may have for the group this evening that we can possibly help you out with amateur radio? Please call now.
This is WA4YL. Let me pause for a moment. Yeah, now I forgot what I was going to ask to say. Oh, next week on the WA4 GDN, which you can pick up right here on Echo Link, Thursday at 7 p.m. Starting the Friendship Net back up on a different night and a different time to see how that worked out. So if anybody wants to join me via Echo Link next Thursday at 7 p.m., let me know, and I'll be sure to listen for you. Back to Net Control. Take it away, Catherine.
Awesome, Dawn. Well, I'm glad you're kicking that back off. Can you give us the call sign of that repeater again, Dawn, so we can find it on Echo Link?
WA4 GDN. Whiskey Alpha 4 Golf Delta November /-R. Back to you, Catherine.
All right, awesome, Dawn. And I believe you said that's on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Is that correct, Dawn? And is that every Thursday?
I'm not sure about every Thursday yet, but I will decide on that once I see how things go and see how many people check in. And when you do check in, we can bring up any topic you like. You can even tell me what you did on your days, and it does not have to be ham related. It can be anything you did that day. Spending time with family, taking the kids to the park, whatever you like to do. All that conversation is welcome on the net on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Back to you, Captain.
All right, very cool, Dawn. Well, gals, if you can jump over there sometime on a Thursday, an hour prior to this net, and pop in and say hello to Dawn and join her friendship net, that would be cool too. Absolutely. All right, very good, Dawn. Well, I'm glad you're kicking that off again. That's cool and exciting, and that actually brings up something else as well. If any of you gals are interested in being net control for part of this net or all of it for an evening on a regular basis or once in a while, please let me know if you are interested in doing that. Would love to know that and get a list together for any of you that are interested in running the net here and getting your feet wet when it comes to being net control, and have some fun experimenting with that. And again, you can do it for, if you want to be net control for 15 minutes or 30 minutes or the entire net. Just let me know what your comfort level is and if you're interested in it. Again, we talk about the purpose of this net every week, and we're here to help you improve your knowledge and your skills and to have fun. And if you want to know what it's like to run a net, even for a short period of time, would love to give you the opportunity to try it out and see if it's something that you enjoy doing or you don't enjoy doing it. So as the case may be. But, what they say, you don't know until you try. So just let me know if you're interested in ever being net control for this net. We'd love to have you do that and would welcome you. So I was just looking here on Dawn's question, and I did just a quick search, very basic search on getting your logs from QRZ to LOTW. And from what I'm reading thus far, you have to be an XML log subscriber to QRZ, but I haven't confirmed that yet direct from their site, so I'll have to check that out. It is in one of their forums, but just got a little, like I said, brief search on that. Okay, so once you're an XML subscriber, you go to your call sign tab on the QRZ homepage and click through to My Logbook. And on your logbook page, there's a settings on the top bar, and you scroll down and you choose ADIF export. So basically you'll export all of your logs, all your QSOs in that logbook on QRZ to an ADIF file, and then you can upload that information from that file to LOTW. So that's like really it in a very brief nutshell without any detail per se, but kind of gives you somewhat of an idea. There is some additional information. Let me see if I can copy this address here so that you gals can check out some additional information on that. I'm going to post that in both chat rooms as well. So hopefully that'll help you out if any of you are using the QRZ logbook and need to get those logs into Logbook of the World. And one of these days we're going to do a net on how to set yourself up on Logbook of the World so that you can upload your logs and work toward getting your contest or your awards, such as Worked All States, your DXCC award, which is working at least 100 unique DXCC entities, and a whole lot of other awards there as well. So, all right, does anybody else have anything for their group, a question or a comment? Please call now.
Good evening, WA4YL. Out to say my 33s for the evening and hope everybody has a wonderful weekend and also happy Halloween. WA4YL will be clear on your final.
All right, very good, Dawn. Well, thanks. Thank you very much, and hope you have a great evening as well. Okay. We still have a couple more minutes here left, so does anybody else have anything for the group before we close out the net this evening? Please call now, AC4YL.
Meter 440 link off.
Okay, nothing heard. So let's see if we have any other check-ins. Do we have any other YLs who have not checked into the net this evening and would like to do so? Please call now. Okay, ladies, well, please don't forget to visit our YL OpNet Facebook group and post your comments and pictures and your ham radio experiences over there. We'd love to see them. We'd like to take a moment to thank ALAR for the use of this Echolink conference node, the North Fulton Amateur Radio League for their Dewdrop in chat room, and all who are linked in listening for your ongoing support of this net. This is Catherine AC4YL closing the YL OpNet and returning the ALAR conference node back to normal use. 33 ladies, thanks so much for being here, and we will see you next week.